What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We got a live before lock show, and thank God, because after the last two times we did this, it was just straight chaos doing it solo. I know I talked about our man Gnome coming. Gnome's got some Wi-Fi stuff, so he's going to be joining us next week. But we do have John Boy Beats here. John, how are we doing?
We're doing good. I'm fresh off a second place finish in the limited contest. Those that
Oh,
were
dude,
watching last night saw the sweat live, but can't feel bad about that at all.
dude, share screen right now. Let's just share screen, and why don't we just let the people see that sweet reward? Let them see, or let them see the lineup.
Yeah, we'll,
And
we'll show the lineup. We'll show the lineup.
And while he pulls this up too, just reminding the people, this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be breaking down some of the late breaking NBA news and then try to build our lineups so that we're ready to go. We'll also do a limited card giveaway that I'll explain in a second. But yeah, if you guys have questions, continue to fire them out into the chat. We'll answer them as we kind of go over some of this stuff. All right, take it away, Johnny.
How do you view this the best? I guess it's this way, right? We had
Yeah,
the Ananobi, which is just it's
huge.
just kind of a pretty good staple for the contender lineups, right? He's never projects super well, but he's
Mm-hmm.
got the big ceiling. Franz as well
Franz,
is also a staple in my lineups, and then obviously just run into the Javon Carter ceiling game
huge.
really helps. It really helps when a guy that has like a 7 point cap goes for 61 or something.
And like, listen, we've talked about Javon Carter quite a bit because of your projections. I know he's been popping. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
they had the combination of both, which we'll talk about tonight, of both Giannis and Drew sitting, but also like and then he ran like en fuego, went like 30 and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
36 and
yeah.
12, a double overtime game. It was absolutely insane. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more. But yeah, he's been projecting well, each and every week, and with
Yeah,
Giannis
well,
sitting
and I
again.
think TST talked about it in one of his threads, and maybe on his video too. But it's like, he's a starter, and he was like under 10 points, and he plays for a really good team. Like, that's like a pretty good,
Hmm.
it's a pretty good combo to try to run into. So yeah, that was huge. And then obviously Jeremy Grant got me over the ledge there last night. I was on the fringe top 10, and then he just pushed through with a big one.
Huge.
So yeah, man, the reward was a Giannis. I got a Giannis today,
Dude, hell yes.
Giannis limited. So, I already had one, so I was kind of hoping to get like a Luca or something just to give me some more options. But double Giannis, probably going to end up selling one of them, but
Keep one, flip
we'll
one,
see.
baby.
Yeah, keep one, flip one. Can't do anything with him this week since he's out, not on the slate.
I didn't
But
have
yeah,
as
man.
much success as you. I did sneak in my rare contender, made it in there. They even though Yuta put up a whole 5 spot, I believe it
Yeah.
was. He like reached his cap with 5. But we got back a Matty Deladova, baby. Shout out those
Oh,
gangs. And then my limited contender, I think, also made it in there, and I got back Jonathan Kaminga, who I actually don't. I like Jonathan Kaminga, so I was fine with that. Also, I see Gnome in there. So let me get this going right now, just so that people know. We'll give away a limited contender at the end of this. I'm limited card at the end of this. It's taken me a little bit to get the hang of how to send you guys stuff without you sending me something back, because normally it's done in a trade. But just like the stream, subscribe to Team Hold, and then you're gonna put hashtag live into the chat to qualify for this. And we'll spin this at the end. But yeah, let's get into some of this news. So Giannis and Drew, we know we're missing a game. We know LeBron James is missing a game. AD, this stuff like this makes me nervous. So AD was
mhm.
not on the injury report, and then left shoot around early because he's not feeling well, and they're going to revisit it before the game. That could really, like, Russ is already grading out as a good play in DFS, but that could really like flip some stuff. We got Malcolm
Well, yeah, maybe we
Brogdon's
talk
out.
about the Lakers. I
Yeah.
think Lakers might be the first one just because they got 2 games, right? So,
Yep.
but they don't have a back-to-back, right? So they play tonight and Sunday. So I think that's good, I think, for AD if he does play tonight, because then maybe he's
Mhm.
got a chance to play Sunday. If they had
Right.
a back-to-back, you could pretty much just lock him in for 1 game. So I think if you have AD, you're playing him,
Yeah.
and because I think he's for sure gonna get 1 game, and then you're just happy if he gets 2. And then if AD's out, like, I don't know, Russ isn't great on SORARE. He's
Right. More of a
like,
DFS play.
yeah, he's like 36 or something. So I wouldn't really go there.
You know
But then
who?
you've got like,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the only when I'm thinking about this, like Lonnie Walker coming back throws a wrench into how I would normally approach this. I think Lonnie
Yeah,
Walker is like a fine DFS play, but I think his cap's high enough. Troy Brown Jr. is someone, if AD
yeah.
sat, that I know it's not a direct correlation of like AD sitting Troy Brown more usage, but I just think he'd be on the floor a little bit more. So Troy Brown is the one. I mean, you could throw darts with Reeves or Matt Ryan or whomever the fuck you want to throw out
Yeah.
there. But for me, it would probably be Lonnie Walker or people saying Kendrick Nunn too. Yeah, I guess Kendrick Nunn. I think
Yeah,
Kendrick Nunn
his minutes are
sucks.
been he hasn't really been doing much in his minutes. So I like the Troy Brown Jr. call a little bit better. Wenyan Gabriel's kind of interesting.
Oh
He's
wow, if AD
cheap.
sits,
Yeah, if AD sits, he's cheap. I think he's 11 or
yeah.
14. Troy Brown Jr. 16. He is projecting well on the sheets, Troy Brown. So I think that's an interesting one. But yeah, I think I don't know if you really go Russ. Maybe you go Russ and hope he has a ceiling game.
I think if you have Russ, it's fine to play him. I guess like
Yeah,
what I like to do when this show's happening is thinking about like some of the injury news. It's like, oh, should we be scooping Russ off the marketplace? No, I don't think Russ
yeah,
is
no,
like
no.
go buy that. But if you have him, I think he's a fine play.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so then you want to talk Boston next?
yeah, let's talk Boston next. So
So we have Brogdon out for sure,
Mhm.
right? Sorry. Let you set the table,
No,
dude.
no. Well, we got Malcolm Brogdon out. They've got a couple of games, right? So they're playing tonight against Denver, which I imagine they're like, let's win the Denver game because then the next night they have Detroit, and Detroit, like Cade Cunningham's questionable tonight. So who knows if that's going to linger into the next game. I feel like if they were ever going to take their foot off the gas, it's tomorrow, right? So I want to, with Brogdon out, I know like Peyton Pritchard is going to be somebody that's actually before we get to Peyton Pritchard, I think the reason you brought it up that they have a back to back, we could see someone like Al Horford take tomorrow night off, right? Like that's like the elephant in the room is that so if Al really plays like 35, 38 minutes tonight against Denver, maybe they give him the night off against Detroit because they want to get this Denver game open. Breaking news: Cade is out.
Well, we'll get
Yeah,
right
so
into that one next then.
there we go. Jay Ivey season, or Sadiq Bey season, really, or even Bogdanovich. Who knows? But yeah. So with Brogdon, you tell me what were your initial thoughts? You see Brogdon out, and then like maybe projecting Al to, and again, it's just a projection that Al might sit a
Yeah.
game. We don't know if he's gonna.
Yeah, I feel like he probably would. I just want to touch on Josh Harvey's here real quick. Problem is things will be locked before Davis news comes out.
Mhm.
So just on that one, he's playing tonight and Sunday. So I don't think it matters too much. I think you just fired Davis up. I don't think he'll miss both.
Yeah.
So just wanted to touch on that one. But yeah, with Boston, I mean, the what I like about the Boston guards is potentially Brogdon doesn't play either game, right?
Right.
I mean, so he could miss both, and
I
then
think he's gonna miss both. That would be my
yeah,
guess.
and then they have a really good matchup against Detroit tomorrow. I mean, Detroit
Mhm.
is just horrible against guards, and so that's why I went the Peyton Pritchard route and bought a couple of his moments. But I mean, it could be just because he's a freaking five, so it's like
No, I
just a
like it.
free
I like the
square,
Peyton
right?
Pritchard call. I think this is what so yeah, it's so tricky because you're playing two games instead of one, right?
Yeah,
So for
yeah,
like tonight, say you're building a DFS lineup, I think the Celtics go like really tight. I think we see like a 7-man rotation, and that's maybe it. And like everybody plays 35 to 38 minutes, and we see a lot of that. So,
yeah,
so if you do roster somebody like Peyton Pritchard, I think you're just hoping for tomorrow. You like just hope
yeah.
tomorrow that he like really pops. And then if he
I think
pops
so
tonight,
too.
hell yeah. And again, like you said, cap of 5. So it doesn't have to do much to kind of get you in a good position.
Yeah, so it is a little bit risky if Brogdon does indeed play tomorrow, but I don't know. I think it's a decent play there. I don't really think they're going to force Brogdon on a back to back. So maybe the call tonight is just go Tatum or Brown if you've got them, and maybe you're on the fence with them. Is just like hoping more usage goes that way, and you just jam kind of those studs in.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that. So with Cade out now,
yeah.
what's your initial lean there?
Well, so Cade's out and Alec Burks, I think, is back, which is kind of a curveball. I think this is Burks' first game, so he shouldn't
Yeah,
play a
first
lot,
game.
but he is like a guard just to like remember about. Um, I do think this just goes to Ivy though, right? Because
Yep.
probably Corey Joseph starts, who isn't a big usage guy. So, well, I guess they maybe Killian Hayes also. I don't know. Um,
Oh
so
yeah,
if
Killian Hayes actually does
I know.
become because what's his cap right now?
10. Killian Hayes is a 10, so he's a really good value even when Cade was projecting in. So he's going to show up as a really good so rare value at 10, I think, for Killian Hayes.
Wow, there's like
Um,
nothing available on the marketplace since everyone's reacting to the news. There's a low ask of 23 for his limited right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So ship sailed on that one. I think Ivy gets a big bump here with probably starting
Yep.
next to Corey Joseph, and then Sadiq Bey I think is an interesting play now also because so I was liking him because he was getting a little bit more second unit time,
Hmm.
which is actually good for a guy like Bay who's can be ball dominant. And then he has a good matchup tonight against the Knicks, who aren't very good up front. And then depending on what happens with Horford tomorrow, right? Then when they go to play Boston, Boston doesn't have very many big men, right? So
Right.
like I think Bay is a decent play this weekend, right in that mid tier. Like I think he's like 27 or something, and is probably has a little bit of a ceiling in him.
I think you could make the same case too for also I'm going to share we're going to be looking at Momentum Labs projections, which is John and Moment Nerds baby. So and I'll share another link into the chat if you want to check out Momentum Labs, go ahead and do that. Um yeah, Josh is saying all the Pistons are pretty high, so we did miss that
Hmm.
window. That's the thing, man. It happens fast, which I actually kind of like. That gets me excited. I also wanted to
Hmm.
check out
Hmm.
Boyan though. Boyan has a cap of 28, projection 24. I imagine with Cade out, that gets boosted
Yeah,
a little bit. Um, who are
yeah.
they
Just
playing
for those
tonight
in the
too?
chat, I'll do another run of projections right after. Actually, I'll try to pull it during the show
Hmm.
and get them up there.
But yeah, so I guess those are the Pistons. I'm trying to think. Was there any other big news? I was just scrolling Twitter. I saw most of the not Pistons. Most of the Blazers are ready to go tomorrow. They're going to be fine. Nurk is the only one that's still questionable. Everyone else is probable. So I know if
Yeah,
you were,
I I
go ahead.
think Brooklyn is an interesting spot to talk about.
Hmm.
Just no Kyrie or Utah again, and now Simmons is moving to the bench.
Right.
And so and they have a back to back. So they play. I forget if it's tonight or if they play Saturday Sunday. Do they play tonight? I don't
I'm
think
gonna pull
so.
up the chat. I'm gonna pull this.
No, they play Saturday Sunday. So that's kind of interesting because the guards potentially could be some value there. Seth Curry's back, but he probably doesn't play the back to back. Patty Mills, Joe Harris like may not play the back to back either. So
Mhm.
then we're talking maybe Cam Thomas again,
I
or
so
maybe Edmund
I've
Sumner.
here just quickly so we can see the games too. Also, Dominic's letting us know Chris Paul is out, so your campaigns and Torrey
There we
Craig's
go.
and
Yeah,
all of those Landers Shamits, Devin Booker, all ready to go. So tonight we got Denver, Boston, Phoenix, Orlando, Detroit, New York, Toronto, OKC, Milwaukee, San Antonio, Memphis, Minnesota, which is the game I'm probably most excited both to watch and to get some action on. Golden State, Cleveland, and then Sacktown and the Lakers. So yeah, we get Brooklyn and the Clippers tomorrow, and then Brooklyn and the Lakers on Sunday. Yeah, I
yeah,
the Cam Thomas thing is pretty interesting. I've been really monitoring it the last couple of days because they've been getting some guys back with a cap of 10. Dude, he still played like 20 plus minutes off the bench. And
yeah.
I still think Cam is a fine play, even as as Ben Simmons gets like slowly worked back in and Joe Harris, all of those guys slowly get worked back in. So
Yeah,
um
I just think he's a guy you got to monitor closely, like you're talking about, right? And like maybe he's got a big game in him this weekend and then you sell, but like I don't know, with Curry coming back and Simmons going to the bench, I just think he's probably, you know, I don't know, he's probably gonna start trending down a little bit. And so I think, it might be wise to try to sell
move off him. So Shamit's out
eventually.
for concussion as well. So I'm sorry I missed
Yeah,
that. So that campaign is freaking lock and load. Let's actually see what campaign.
he's
Uh,
freaking skyrocketing.
yeah, I'm
He's
sure he
he's
is.
already smashed up. But I really like Damian Lee. So Damian Lee
Yeah,
is a decent pivot off of campaign and like DFS, and then Shamit kind of took over or took some of his upside last time. So I played Lee in DFS over Payne because I was just like a leverage play, and
yeah,
Lee didn't really do much because Shamit scored like I don't know, I forget, I think Shamit had like 20 points or something. I might be making that up, but now with no Shamit, I think Damian Lee's a pretty good play, and like he's only I think $10 or something. So, um,
Yeah, so
that's
Damon, yeah,
not horrible.
850 right now with a cap of 11. I said this morning, I think during, or maybe not this morning, but yesterday. I totally get why people pivot to like the cheap guy that comes. But if you are someone that owns a Devin Booker right now, Devin Booker
Yeah,
is
oh
an
yeah,
absolutely phenomenal play because he's not only going to score 25 points, but now he's in the position where he's probably going to get you like 10 to 12 assists as well. Obviously,
yeah,
campaign's still a
and
great
Bridges
play.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, Bridges as well. Like those dudes, like, dude, Booker, Bridges, all of those guys are going to play like fucking 40 minutes now. And if we look at
yeah,
the schedule, who do we say Phoenix is playing? So they don't have a game. No, they play Orlando tonight, and Orlando's shorthanded as well. We should note that Paulo's out. So your
yeah.
Franz Wagner is a great play. And then do
Phoenix
they
just
that
has the one game. Yeah.
so just the one game, which is kind of fun. You know exactly
Let's talk
where
about
you're there.
Orlando. Let's talk about Orlando.
Yeah,
I like pivoting there now. So Paolo's questionable. We
he's
should
out.
probably
Paulo
get.
got ruled out. Paulo got ruled
Oh,
out.
he's ruled out. Okay.
Yep.
Damn. So then front court guys like Bull
Yeah, so
or
you got Wagner with a cap of 28. You got Bull with a cap of 26. I think the one who moved into the starting lineup is Chuma Okiki and or KK. He's at a cap of 15. Who's projecting pretty well for value wise. Oh, projection at 31
yeah,
points. Wow.
31 points.
Let's
Damn.
see what I
Yeah,
was
I just
looking.
updated this by the way.
Oh, nice. I
So
was
this is
looking at.
live.
I almost bought him because it was like, but the cap of 15 felt a little high. It's $8.
Yeah, Mo Bamba at 14. Eh,
What do
guess
you
that's kind
think
of high
about this?
too.
$8 for Chuma with a projection of 31 and a cap of 15, or do you think you should be like punting closer to I don't
I'd
know.
just rather go there. I'd rather it just feels kind of thin. I'd rather do it if they had 2 games or something. Just the one gamer, like, I don't know. He could easily put up like a 15 and then it's not really helping you that much.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry.
I have some bull thoughts.
Oh,
I think
hit us with it,
I
but
think
before you do though, because I think there's a lot of new so rare people that don't know our Bull history. So
yeah.
before we to get into Bull,
Bull.
Bobo.
His first name is Bull and his last name is Bull.
No,
Look
yeah.
at his legs.
close.
Yeah. Long legs.
Oh my god. I bet his legs are taller than my whole body. I'm leaving you for Bull. Like,
It's just good to get that. All right, hit
It
me
is.
with some Bull.
It is. No, I just think Bull's a little bit of a sell high.
Yes.
I would be trying to do that. He's a 26, and his minutes have been kind of going down. Like, so we know he's hyper efficient, right?
Right.
Or he did have a couple games where he was
FPM
hyper
monster.
efficient. Yeah, but his minutes have been going down. They've been trying to play Mo Bamba a little bit more. Like, I don't know. I just think, and his price is still really elevated right now, and so it just seems like a good place to maybe get off of some Bull and get on to like, I don't know. I would honestly just cycle him down to Mo Bamba. I know it sounds kind of gross, but like Mo Bamba could start. He's only a 14, and he could start kind of trickling, trending up towards the 20 direction or something if he
Yeah.
keeps getting more minutes.
I will say, like, I think Bull is still a good play, but I totally agree that we're at the ceiling of Bull. And when Bull's cap was like the 10 to 15 range, just a smash play. But with the minutes he's getting, he's probably not, he's gonna have to run so pure with like 6 or 7 blocks to like get to that true ceiling, right? So I totally agree with that. Somebody asked though, Ukulele said, what about RJ Hampton getting a little bit of bump, knowing that Paulo does a lot of the guard stuff? I was more intrigued with RJ when Suggs was out.
Yeah, Suggs has just been a beast. I mean, he's Suggs is like the player of the week on the sheets right now. He's projecting the best at like 18 value. But he's all the way priced up. He's been bought up quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't really go there now. But for those that believed in Suggs at the beginning of the year and didn't think that he was just a bad player all of a sudden and then got hurt, that's paying off for you for sure. So yeah, I don't know about RJ. I think Suggs is just gonna kind of take that spot over and just really limit his minutes.
Yeah. I want to take a second because there's been a couple of good questions, like for some newer stuff that I wanted to address. Like Karajino said, do the cards can they be upgraded to higher rank like common to limited? They can't really be upgraded from common to limited, but they can you get like a stronger boosted the more you play them, but not from common to limited. However, if you're playing in a common tournament, you can win a limited card. Sometimes if you're playing in a limited card, you can play in a rare one. Hamy's saying, what is the story on presented by SORARE? This is from our first show that we did, our first one, where it says presented by SORARE and the Momentum Labs. That's only because I didn't have a good twofer. Like if I have 3 guests, I have a good filter, but this is from the NBA season tip-off. The other thing, John, that I wanted to talk about before we get back into some projections here, what about the starter packs? Did you see this? The start at the
Yeah.
what was your thoughts about that right away?
So I think they are giving those out to people who have not yet played a limited contest, but have been grinding away at the commons. And essentially it gets you like a 5-pack of limited players for $99 that you theoretically could just kind of fire right into a contest. And I think it's cool. I mean, a couple people in my Discord were looking through and they were like, yeah, basically it's not like a screaming value, like maybe it's just under $99 if you were to buy it off the marketplace or whatever, but I think for those of us that are playing in the limited streets, like having an easy option like that pop
Yeah.
up to all the people that are playing for free, that you gotta love that, right? Because I mean, we've seen how quickly it is to get sucked into this stuff, right? And so if you give somebody a easy way to buy a 5-pack and now they're, granted limited lineups every
Right.
week, I think that's big.
Well, it reminded me of a platform that shall not be named because it went under. But when you bought a pack, it gave you like a full lineup for football ready to go. And I love that idea of
Yeah.
like I don't have to figure out the 5 single things I need to buy in order to make a lineup. That is kind of nice that it doesn't. And I saw a lot of people being like, "Wow, I wish that was there when I started buying stuff. That would have been a lot easier." Which, like, yes, I agree with. But to me, that is like. I don't know that I just like that was like another innovative thing that's come out in the first
Yeah.
7 weeks. That's pretty exciting, you know?
It's also like from the ones that were posted in my Discord and people were kind of fact checking. I don't think it's really they weren't like screaming deals or anything. So basically, it
Yeah.
was just like helping you press it with one click of the button instead of 5.
Right. Instead of because I think like if you just dove in, right, you buy like 5 guys with a 35 cap, and then you're like, wait, hold on, I
Yeah,
can't use this in a lineup.
yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point. All right, let's dive back into our spreadsheets again. I'm going to share the link one more time to Momentum Labs. Really recommend joining them. They've helped me quite a bit with some projections, and I think it's helpful. But I want to. And what other things have been screaming out to you as you've been starting to build some of your lineups? Like, are there any other steals that you've been looking at that have gotten you hyped?
Yeah, I haven't really. I did go and buy a Bane
Mm.
rare just because I don't know, I kind of felt like it was just a good guy to have. He's like in that range where you can play him in your champion. Like he's probably gonna stay around 40,
Yep.
but we know he's got some ceiling games in him. And I think he has a really good matchup against the Wolves today. And he should be shooting the lights out, hopefully, because the Wolves give up a bunch of threes. So I went for the Bane. I think that's a good matchup. I think another guy that's really interesting this weekend, and they have 2 games, is Poku.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Poku's another good one. I like Poku quite a bit.
yeah, no Baisley at least for 1 game. OKC with 2 games this weekend, and Poku's been, playing some minutes, and obviously he's volatile. He could have a pretty shitty game, but he could have a big one also.
Oh, I just looked up Alex Len by accident when I was looking up Poku, and it said me it was under $1. I just bought a Bane myself. That's why I stopped sharing screen. I agree with you, and I got pretty hyped that I was talking. Jesus Christ, I was listening to the Zach Lowe podcast. I wasn't talking to Zach Lowe, but I've noticed this as well as Desmond Bane's been doing a lot of playmaking instead of
Yeah,
just being like this 3-point chucker. And I think I love that Bane call. I think Bane, if you're playing DFS tonight, and a lot of people are going to be on
yeah.
this Boston Denver game, and you want to get a little different, I would hammer this game. I would absolutely hammer this game. And I'm excited to grab some pieces from that as well. And look at Josh Harvey, who only comes here
Let's
for financial
go.
advice, joining Momentum Labs.
We love it. We love it.
Love to see it.
You
But yeah,
should get a email that gives you all the links. So shoot me with a DM, Josh, if you have any issues.
hell yeah. Josh is good people. Been here for a while and needles me every day. All right, yeah. Anybody? Yes, assuming the Google Sheet. Actually, Josh, so if you go here, I'll actually take you guys from the beginning. So if you're already logged in, right? And you come over to this is the Momentum Labs homepage. If you go over to analysis and then you can go to NBA fantasy projections, and then it'll pop this up, and you've got all the sweet stuff from Moment Rank, SORARE Global Cup. Wow, I didn't know you had that yet. What's
Working on it.
what's BM Dump Day?
It's just that's just the projections that I get for
Oh
Basketball
hell yeah,
Monster.
hell
Just a
yeah.
dump. Projection dump.
Oh,
in.
BBM, dude. BBM was like the first projections I ever used.
Yeah.
Anybody else that like really stood out? The other thing that we could do too while we're doing this for the chat, if you guys want to fight, if you have any other like 2v2 type not 2v2s, but any like questions on what you're looking at to build your lineups. But then John, I figured you and I could build our lineups as well while we go. But yeah, if you guys have any questions in the chat, fire them there. But yeah, any other plays that you've been like circling? I know Desmond Bain.
I think so. I was trying to look a little bit more in depth at the two gamers this weekend. I think Bones Highland at 22 is kind of interesting. His minutes have been going up, but he's pretty volatile. So it's not like a screaming buy, but I think he's somebody that could be interesting. I had a note about sell high in here. Sacramento. So the Kings have two games this weekend. I don't know. It's just all their wings are like projecting pretty well on the spreadsheets. You've got Herter 27, Murray 23, Monk 24, Barnes 19. So I don't know. All those guys look good in the sheets, but I think Barnes is probably the one to sell there. And just assume that kind of the younger guys are going to get some more run. Even Monk too seems like he's been kind of playing out of his mind a little bit, but I mean they did trade for him or pick him up or whatever the hell the Kings did with him. So maybe Monk's a guy that they're going
Kind
to
of
give
like
some
Monk
run.
for DFS tonight. So
yeah. And then I think Scotty Barnes is due for a big game, and
Scotty Barnes underperforming a little bit with two like big OG games. Fred VanVleet coming back. I agree though. I do think we're going to see a Scotty Barnes game. TST was saying
Brandon Goodwin. Sorry.
Brandon Goodwin or
whatever the fuck's name is. Is that his
the
name?
one of the Wizards, right? No, I think that's a different Goodwin now. I think it's isn't it Jordan?
Jordan Goodwin. Yeah.
All right. Well, here's why I'm glad you brought that up, because let's go take a look at my cards and let's look at some limiteds. Let's see if we can find. Look at all these fucking buys. Wait, I bought two limited Peyton Pritchards. Bro,
there's your guy, Jordan Goodwin.
Oh yeah, there we go, Jordan Goodwin. How are we feeling about Jordan Goodwin?
I don't know, because I was trying to figure out why he was getting a lot of minutes. I mean, he's projecting well this week, but I think it's because Beal's out, right? And
right.
Like, wouldn't you think that this would be maybe a good time to sell him then?
I don't think he's really popping though, is he?
Yeah, maybe not. So maybe just maybe you just kind of hope that he gets more minutes than like Monty Morris or whatever, and he just kind of takes over.
Yeah, let's actually check Goodwin. Because I honestly I did try to sell him after, because I bought him and then didn't fucking play him like an absolute fish.
Yeah.
But I don't think he actually popped that much. I think it was like 82. $12. So he's at 12.
Yeah. I do think Rui is a sell high after his big game last night, and he popped a little bit. So I would probably get off of him. I think it's beneficial to talk through the Buck stuff because of like the selling stuff. So basically, like Jevon Carter, I mean, even like Portis didn't really get there, but he's popped a little bit.
Yeah, he's had a couple bad games actually.
Yeah, he's had a couple bad games. Grayson Allen has popped a little bit, but mainly Jevon Carter, I think, is the guy that's worth talking about, right? And so I had a rare and a limited of him. I mean, I had bought him like the first week when the sheets came out, and he was 7 or something, and it was like, oh, it seems like, and he hadn't really done a whole lot for the last month or so. I mean, he's been a good value, but nothing crazy. And then obviously you run into the huge 60-point game, and then his price like triples.
Right.
And so I think it's important to like think through the context of it, because okay, so if he would have scored a 61 and then Giannis and Drew played today, he probably isn't selling for that high, right? So
correct,
because he's not having a good projection into this next game week. And so then I probably would have been okay like holding him, but because you ran into kind of the nut spot there of him going off 2 nights ago and then projecting really well again because Giannis and Drew are out, like I think that's just the spot where you kind of got to take some profits and sell these guys, and then hop back on the train later, or just cycle it. Like I sold 2 Jevon Carters and I cycled it back down into Damian Lee, who I don't know. I mean, may not be the greatest play in the world, but it's just like just kind of using that cycle effect to keep keep the people in the similar range kind
Yeah.
of, going in your gallery, as they call it on SORARE. And so yeah, I just wanted to talk through that a little bit and give my
No,
thoughts there.
I think that's wise. We were talking about this offline today. I'm kind of a fan of buying two of these things, where like I did that
Mhm.
with Cam Thomas, where I bought a rare and a limited, and that way, if it pops during that first game week that I think it's going to pop, I'll flip one of them, but keep the other one so I can play it for one more week if I want to. But it just gives me a little bit more flexibility. Obviously, none of that's financial advice to buy more of them, but that is how I've
No.
been handling it. I did that with Peyton Pritchard today, actually, just in case, because Malcolm Brogdon like loves to get hurt, so that's like his
Yeah.
thing. Let's rifle through some of these questions to get
Yeah.
ourselves caught up, since we still have like 30
Oh,
minutes
wait.
here.
So real
Oh yeah.
quick before we get off the selling stuff, so I would say that's so like if you look at a guy like Miles Turner and
Mhm.
Jalen Suggs and maybe like Joel Embiid if he wasn't, super hurt all the time. But like those guys who have a really low cap right now have been smashing.
Right.
And like I wouldn't really classify those guys in the same category, right?
No.
Because their cap is going to kind of keep increasing, but you can really get some good usage out of them for the next 2 weeks, and their stuff's not like completely injury dependent. So I mean, I would think about maybe selling like one of these weeks if they really go off, but
Well,
like for the most part, I'm not really too worried about it because you're just getting 2 weeks of good value from them or something.
well, and again, this is just me, so other people feel free to push back on this. But the way that I've been approaching this, and we kind of talked about it a little bit last night, these like expensive guys that you're talking about, Embiid or like Morant, my plan when I got those was to play them regardless, right? Those
Yeah,
are like
yeah,
ceiling guys all the time. These
yeah,
young
yeah,
guys, I feel like that's where I'm going to be doing some decision making. That's where I'm
yeah,
speculating on, where I'm like, I think their role is going to grow. I know some people, when someone gets hurt, they're going to pop. And those are easy to flip, but they're also like low risk. You know what I mean? Like it's like $9. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll see what happens.
yeah.
But the expensive guys like the Embiid, like I'm not trying to sell those. I'm trying to like the John Moran I probably overpaid for, but I'm just pumped to have John Moran, you know?
Mm.
All right, let's get into it. TST said 2 games of Dort versus 1 game of Franz without Paolo. I think it's Franz, right?
Yeah, I think it's Franz. I don't really love what Dort's been doing besides steals.
No, he's actually been like pretty bad lately.
Yeah.
All right, Joker Rock saying slowly scroll past the 18 cap. Here we go. I'll get down. We're in the 18 range. Jalen Suggs, and Grayson, great. Jalen Suggs probably appropriately priced or overpriced.
Yeah.
So Grayson Allen's probably the play there.
Yeah, yeah, I think Brandon Clark maybe if Steven Adams is out.
Yeah.
But
Joe
yeah,
Harris, if you think his role is going to expand. Yeah. Oh,
17 Caleb Martin
I'm a
and
big
16
Sohan
Sochan.
fan.
Yeah, Sohan. So how do you say
Also,
it? Sohan?
Yeah, so I say it wrong all the time, but it's Sohan. Also, Troy Brown. Like, listen, if we somehow get that AD news, I do think Troy
Hmm.
Brown becomes kind of a fun play.
Hmm.
And then you got your Javon Carters, who's probably way overpriced. Norman Powell, Chumo Kiki. I don't know.
Jason says 1 game of Mikal Bridges versus 2 games of Porter.
I
I
think
think
it's
without Paul, you got to go a game of Bridges, right?
yeah,
I don't know.
Jason. I
That's
would
a
just
tough
say
one.
like you're in good shape here
Yeah,
because Porter is playing the Celtics tonight, and everyone is like, "Oh yeah, the Celtics, defensive juggernauts." Celtics have been playing so fast in such high scoring games. I think that's fine.
yeah.
Pull
I
up
do like
Thad.
the Tad Young call here.
Here we go. Yeah, project cap of 12 with the projection of 21. So there you go. That's with the Precious injury
Oh,
on top of the Siakam injury.
yeah, and so that actually brings up a good point from, what's his name? Coloco?
Oh,
Um,
Koloko, yeah.
he Yeah, he's got freaking, like, I don't know, like, 4 cards on the side or something, so he's, like, super, like, spiked up in value, like, he's a good value on the sheets, but then he's also a really good like, a really high price just because he, like, barely just started getting cards the other day, and
Hmm.
so, man, if you somehow managed one of him, I would be selling the crap out of him and then going
Yeah,
and grabbing, like, a Tad Young or, like, a Banton maybe. I know Banton will get TSC really going.
I like that. Also $5 for Thad Young right now.
Yeah. I mean, even, like, Otto Porter Jr.,
Yeah.
I don't really love him, but he's 13, Tad's 12, and Banton's 7, so I think those are all better than Coloco.
I know you're deep in the weeds on Beauchamp. What are your thoughts on the young buck?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just gotta sell him. He's almost in the same Jevon Carter range, and it's like, you know,
Oops.
uh, he's I think he's like a 10 or something this week. Is that right?
Oh yeah, 26
7. Oh
bucks.
my God, he's a 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think he's worth probably keeping. I would go for it.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Noah said, "Do you have any Dort alternatives?" Dort
Dort
alternatives, Noah.
alternatives.
I don't
So is
think Dort.
that a similar range then? Is he
Yeah,
asking?
I guess, and I should say too. I don't think Dort's bad, but we were comparing Dort to Wagner without. I mean, Dort has been playing bad. That I say that, but we're comparing Dort to Wagner, who's playing without Paulo.
I
I
mean,
mean,
we just talked about Ivy and Sadiq Bey, same
yeah,
price tag, so I would probably go to for either of those.
yeah, yeah. Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is the one that stands out the most. And DeAndre Ayton. Wow, only capped 26, man.
He just hasn't been doing shit though. Like
I know his
he's
minutes.
like
Oh,
just standing out there.
I actually really I don't know what the price point is. Marcus Smart though, I get. Oh no, he's way
Yeah.
more expensive then. But Marcus Smart, I think is going to play
Yeah.
like 40 minutes today.
Yeah, he'll be a good play, and he'll be a good play tomorrow against the Pistons, who suck
Yeah.
at guards.
Okay, here we go. What would you flip 2 campaigns for $40 profits or flip them?
I mean, if you got 2 of them, I'd flip one and play one.
Here
That's
we
what I
go.
would do, just because you'll probably still be able to like campaign as a guy who is just directly tied to Chris Paul, who's older than shit, right? So
Right.
like it's not going to be bad to have a campaign like in your lineup gaining XP, right? And so take a
True.
little bit of a win and just keep campaign in there, and then you're probably going to run into this like once a month where
Yeah.
campaign is projecting really well.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of sell one, keep one. Ransom Reed was saying Wiseman cap or Moody cap. Man,
I
I
would, dude,
Moody.
Wiseman. Yeah, I would go Moody for sure. Wiseman is like he might not even play it. Like
No,
he
he's gonna
might
be in
not
the
even get minutes.
it's bumming me out. I think he's gonna be in the G League soon.
Yeah.
Dominic, this is a fun one. Halliburton 1 game, AD 2 games if he plays both, or Garland 2 games. Dude, I don't know. What's your call?
I would say AD just because you're for sure getting 1 game and it's gonna be a ceiling game, and then you have a potential chance at 2 games because he's got like it's confirmed no LeBron this weekend, and
Oh,
there's
I
no
see.
way he sits no both games. So you're for sure getting 1 good AD game,
Yeah.
and I think that's gonna have a better ceiling than Halliburton or Garland. So I'd play AD.
Yeah, and Garland's questionable, I think. He's sick, so he's questionable.
Yeah.
He might miss one of his games. I'd rank them AD, Halliburton, Garland, I think. So that's where I would go. All right,
Clark and Joe Harris, I would go Clark just because I think they have 2 games and Harris likely sits in the back-to-backs and potentially Adams sits and Clark goes
Mhm.
off. I don't know. I would go Clark there.
I like Keegan here. I think that's fine. We got another sign up for Momentum Labs. Hell yeah,
Boom.
let's go.
Welcome, Rob.
Let's go. Anthony Davis?
Just a quick shout on that. It's kind of complicated to get into all our shit and all the spreadsheets and everything. So if anybody's ever having any problems, just shoot me a DM and I'll get you squared away right away.
Yeah, get in that Discord too. Also, get in the Team Hold Discord. You can find all of our links for stuff. And I'll remind the people, since I haven't done that in a while, go ahead, like the stream, subscribe, #live. I don't know which limited we're giving away, but I'll give away a limited at the end of this. All right. I like this one. Anthony Davis or Devin Booker would be buying off the marketplace. So we got to add that into it as well. Let's go over to that. I will say everybody's mad at Anthony Davis right now because God, what's going on? Because he, has not been playing up to his potential and they're losing or whatever. He's still been putting up really good fantasy games. So you've got a projection of 50 and a cap of 49. And then what do we have him for? What's he for limited right now? This is torn because these are like 2 of my favorite plays of the weekend.
Yeah, this is a really good one. I like this.
So for 52,
52.
cap of 49. Let's go over to Book.
And Booker's 38, cap of 38, and a projection of 46.
Depending on the price point here, man, it's Booker.
Yeah.
Because so it's a little bit more money for Booker, right? I'm going Booker though. Because he's going to do all of the playmaking, right?
Yeah, and I would just say yeah, it's maybe a $10 difference, and it's only 1 game versus maybe 2 AD games this weekend. But like this is the range of player where I'm not really as worried about like just this weekend, right? Or like just the next 2 weeks or something. Like if you're gonna spend this money on this guy, you're gonna probably try to load him up in your lineup every week. And so
Definitely.
I would just rather have Booker at that point due to like AD's, fragility.
That's a great. I totally agree. I totally agree. Travel Addict says SORARE seems to be tied to actual player results in Top Shot. There you go. I'm just going to share that and then move on. Looking for Food says 1 game for Bam or 2 game for Scotty.
Good Scotty.
Yeah, me too. It's just more fun for Scotty. Sorry, Borland. I missed this one earlier. I had it start and then we got too busy. What about Garrett GTJ?
I'm off Trent because he is gonna he's probably gonna get some tough defense tonight, right? He could get some Dort action, wouldn't he? Or
Ooh, yeah, he probably gets some Dort action, but yeah, man, it's too like with Fred back too. Like I feel like he's getting less opportunities to chuck. I don't hate it though. I do like Gary Trent Jr. because I feel like at any point he can hit 10 threes. But I
yeah,
guess
but like specifically for this weekend, Gary Trent, like I like Barrett, Wagner, Bridges more, right? And
Yeah.
probably Mathurin.
Yeah, I would
So
have to know, Borland, what other options do you have? What other options do you have? I don't hate it, but what other options do you have? All right, let's see what else we got. All right, Mike Weisberg, Josh Hart for $10. That's good. Josh Hart does like a lot of the
it's gonna be a
peripherals.
consistent. That's gonna be a consistent one for you. Federico's. Oh, sorry.
No, that's
Levert or Clay.
ooh. Let's pull up Levert. Levert coming off like a big double the other night. And Levert, this is the thing with Garland questionable, he gets a nice little boost if he sits there with a cap of 29.
Yeah, Clay is projecting better, and I
Yeah.
don't think they have a back-to-back. I think their games are spread out this weekend. So I would probably go Clay. Just I don't know. Those guys are both like
Yeah.
pretty pretty similar.
Just
I'd probably just go. I'd probably just bet on the projections and go Clay.
Yeah, Clay's just been dust, but you're right. You're right. Honey Badger says Hallie, Dame, or Trey all one game. Man, I think
Has
Dame.
Dame played yet? Dame did play, right?
Yeah, he came
came
back. He put
back
up
and
like
played, and
26,
then
6, and 7 or something. He was great in the last game.
yeah, I'd probably go Dame.
Yeah, Dame, Trey, Hallie in that order. But I love all of those. Like I think you're in good shape. We talked about Cam earlier in the night. I think Cam's still a good play with Ben Simmons coming off the bench and no Kyrie for 4 more games too.
Yeah, the advice we gave Andre was you just kind of got to really be keeping an eye on the Thomas stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because with Curry back and Simmons on the bench, he's probably getting cut on his minutes. Now they got a back-to-back this weekend, so he could get some run. But if he goes off this weekend, I think that would probably be a decent spot to sell.
Yeah. Adam saying, do we like Bobby? We talked about Bobby a little bit, right? We're fine with Bobby.
Yeah, he'll do well. I forget who they're playing. Who's Milwaukee playing?
I forget who
I think it
Milwaukee's
was a
playing.
worse front court than though.
We got Milwaukee, San Antonio tonight, so they got to deal with Jakob Poeltl.
I mean, that's not really much to deal with. They only have one game.
One game.
So that yeah, I like Bobby. I mean, the Spurs front court is not very good.
The other
defense,
thing,
defense.
We should have talked about this a little bit because both of these guys are kind of popping. And I know it's like a joke now, the real question, Cornet or Romeo Langford, but they're both popping, right? So if we look at Langford's got like for a cap of 6. That's that's solid. What's Romeo going for? I don't know. Do you have any lean on either of those guys?
I think I mean Cornette got more minutes when what's his name went out, but I don't really know why. Because he's not the same position, but I don't know. I'd probably just go Cornette because they played him more last game when Brogdon was out.
And he's a dollar. You get it for $1.50. Wow. Also, Josh catching up fine. I'm buying both. Ooh, this is a fun one. Dinwiddie versus Şengün.
I'd probably go I don't know, dude. Dinwiddie's been playing so well. Like I because we played DFS. I feel like our minds are just tricked to like try to get off the hype. Like as soon as they start getting hyped, you know. So like Dinwiddie's had 2 back-to-back banger games. They only have 1 game this weekend. Houston does as well.
Yeah.
But Şengün, I think, is projecting a little bit better. Actually,
Yeah,
I think about the same in projections.
I like Şengün's cap a little bit better, though, right? Like Şengün is a lower cap.
No. Dinwiddie's 31, Şengün's 32. So
Oh, okay, then forget it.
it's pretty much the same.
They've been weird with his minutes too. They've been weird with his minutes. Someone,
Yeah.
Borland saying, look who the Raptors play. All right. Toronto plays Oklahoma City tonight, like we said with Dort, and then Indiana tomorrow. Indiana's like a fast-paced game. But that OKC defense is a little tricky. Garland will play today, he said. There we go. All right, so Garland's back. All right, Borland, what's the matter, Borland? What's the matter? Because you need us to look at the matchups and the projections. You pull it up, Borland. What else we
So
got?
he doesn't really care about our opinion. He just wants to play Gary Trent, I think.
Yeah, then just play Gary Trent Jr. What are your other options? I asked for your other options. Milo says Şengün limited or Kenyon Martin Jr. rare. Oh man, I don't know, dude. I was Şengün.
Yeah, probably.
Şengün. Because Kenyon Martin Jr.'s numbers, his minutes are dependent kind of on Şengün too.
Yeah, this is a fun one. Franz or Poole both have two. No, excuse me. Franz I think only has one game.
Yeah,
Poole
it's
has
Franz.
2 games, but it's no paddle.
It's Franz. Jordan Poole's been dog shit this year. The Warriors seem weird. There's no Paulo, so I'm going Wagner.
Yeah.
Worth trying out a swap of Ben Simmons before his cost hit. No, I think we're at the point now with Ben Simmons where we're buying low. We're just waiting for him to come back.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's 6:15. Can we build some lineups?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's build some lineups. Here, I'll go first just because I'm already here. Let's go to upcoming. So I'm gonna focus on rare contender and limited champion first, and then go from there. But for the rare contender, I only need to play 3. I only need to play 3 rares, and I think we start. Obviously, Utah's out of play. So Dwight Powell, they announced Christian Wood's probable. So I think Dwight Powell is kind of out of play at this time, right? I don't know. So let's go with our little 5 baby Peyton Pritchard. I think Terrence Mann's still like a solid play at 11 here.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
still
so.
projecting okay. And then I need one more rare. I think it's Draymond, right? If you compare Draymond and Jordan Poole, like where do you go?
Yeah, Poole I think is actually projecting a little bit
better.
They're basically the same.
Well, then we'll save the cap. We'll save the cap. That gives me 34. I feel like this is where we fit in. I think I could do. Can I do Bane and Porter Jr.? I think I'm just gonna miss.
Well, yeah, because you're gonna play Ja on your other one, right? So you probably don't want to play.
I don't want Bane in this one,
might as
but
well
maybe
play
Jamal
Bane.
Murray. I actually kind of like Jamal Murray. In this match, in the matchup that he's got this week. So I don't know. I don't hate this. Peyton, Mann, Poole, Bane, and Murray.
Yeah, I like it. I think
There
that's
we go.
solid. I would say what? Yeah,
Oh,
whatever.
sorry, you want me to go back to it?
Let's go back to it and just see if you can mess around with no Bane and see if you can get something better.
All right. So if we took Bane out here,
or
let's
take
see.
out Bane and Murray.
Bane and Murray.
Do you have anything?
34. We could do like
range.
Nah, we could do like Zion.
What about Zion and Jalen?
Zion and Jalen Green, and then that leaves 2. Actually, I kind of like that.
That's both. They both have 1 game. Bane has 2. I like playing Bane because you're going to play John, your other one, right? Probably.
Right. Yeah, so but I could squeeze Bane into my limited contender. But yeah, let's do the Bane one. Yeah. Bane and who did we say? Jamal Murray. So let's throw this in there.
Those guys both have 2 games too. So
yeah, more dart throws. If we go over to limited contender here, so I'm not going to use John the contender. I do try to use. I mean, now that Keldon Johnson's up to 39, I actually might save him for because like, dude, Zion that's pretty low. So if we throw in Zion, and let's find some value. Let's find some value first before we keep going. Javon Carter's still there. Shaedon Sharpe is questionable now. I don't know. Let's throw in Javon Carter.
Yeah, I think you got to put in Carter. Neesmith is decent. Neesmith and Sumner.
Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going. We still got more man. We got Cam Thomas. I feel like we play Cam Thomas before we play the other guys, right?
Yeah.
We also still have Josh Green, Christopher. Who was the one? Cornette that we talked about. Kuminga, Peyton Pritchard. I feel like I got to play one more of these Peyton Pritchards, right? At this point.
Yeah.
And I think so. Now the decision is if we throw in Cam Thomas, that gets me up to 43, and I could just throw in Keldon Johnson right there. And that's pretty solid, right?
This is contender. Yeah. So contender, you're kind of looking more for like, floor outcomes, right? Or you don't. I mean, you still want to actually do pretty well because you can get a bigger prize at the top. But yeah, I think this is a good lineup. If you don't do, let's just look at what happens if you don't do Cam,
So if you don't do
and
Cam
Keldon.
and
Uh,
Keldon,
yeah, then
that
you
gives
can
us
do. You have 26 left,
Mhm.
so you could do. Yeah, I don't like Monty Morris. I
Monty.
have I have
Yeah,
Monty Morris in a lineup right now, and I need to get him out. Do
we could
somebody
do.
else.
What is Kevin Porter Jr. with 18 left? That gives us like Rui, Gabe Vincent, who I actually don't hate Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, I kind of like the Cam play better.
Yeah, the other
Cam
thing,
and
what was the other? If we put in Sumner, what does that get us? I mean, yeah, I guess I could do Sumner and Keldon Johnson instead. I guess it's like, who do you like more, Sumner or Cam?
yeah, probably Cam. I don't know. Maybe I would go to the projections on that one. Let's see.
Yeah, well, let's go. Let's go Cam. Let's go Cam. Fuck the projections. We're gonna look at the schedule.
Cam's better projection. So
There we go. So Cam and then Keldon, and then I'll fire in one more, and then I'll turn it over to you, and you can build some. We'll do the limited champion here. So we'll throw in Ja, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green. That's a fun start. That gives us 28 the rest of the way. I actually do like. Well, I this is what I'm gonna do. Like, I know Ben Simmons is coming off the bench, but still, if he puts up blocks and steals, I mean, look at how like balanced that. Not balanced, but Ja, KPJ, Jalen Green, Jeremy Grant, Ben Simmons.
yep.
There we go. Make sure I'm not like missing anything. Sumner, I feel like, I mean, Goodwin, I'm still not playing for a second week in a row. Luke Cornett, who I've talked about, I'm still not playing. There we go. Submit. Submit. There we go. Why don't you want to fire yours up? Get it in there.
Yeah, let me go to it right now.
Noah's saying last minute Michael Porter or Aaron Gordon. I would 100% go Michael Porter. Aaron Gordon, I know, is coming off that big 18 and 16 game, but I am a Michael Porter Jr. truther.
Shit, I'm not sharing. Let me share. All right. Let's see. Okay, so we'll
Here
go
we
rare
go.
champion, just to get a little bit of different action here. So gotta go with Shea here. He's kind of the big dog that I've been riding with.
Dude,
And
Shea's
then
so good, man. Shea's so freaking good.
I think I go Pritchard in the. Ooh, yeah, I think I might want to get Pritchard in here. And then I can go, let's see, then I got 38 left. So I can go, can I go Bane and Scotty? And then
I
what's
like
that
that.
give me? 42. That gives me Fox.
Dude, I love Fox is great.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Fox is great.
I think this is a pretty good one to lock in here. What else could I do here? I could
I like
do,
Scotty Barnes quite a bit.
yeah, I think this is a pretty good one. I think that's giving me some good upside for first. And then I'll build out a limited contender just because
Those are my favorite. The contenders is so favorite. Carol's asking where to look for the fastest injury news. I've been using the Underdog NBA Twitter. That's where I've been going. There's plenty of different options, but that's what I've been using.
so I think Franz and Bay are nice in this tier. And then I've got to drop down.
With that Torrey Craig too. Oh, I forgot I got a Damian Lee. I got to be playing Damian Lee this week, right?
Yeah, I think you do for sure. So Pritchard, then that gets me back up to 25. And then I'm at, yeah, see, then I'm in this stupid range of like maybe need to play a Monty Morris because I'm going to need some of these 25 guys for my other lineup.
Mm-hmm.
So I could go Adams. Yeah, I take out Adams. So then I have to go Grant and like Grayson Allen, or let's see. I could go up to, no, I can't go up to that and Grayson Allen.
This shit is hard.
I know. So then I'm
Hey,
just leaving a bunch of cap on. So yeah, I don't know.
Hammy saying you need Malik Monk.
Do I? Do I need Malik Monk?
Said you need him.
I don't know.
You absolutely need him.
I don't know if I need him.
Also, where did Borland go? Borland, you never told me who your other options were. Where are you, Borland?
So that's probably what I'd go with, but I think I'd want to get off of Morris because I think I'm going to try to play these guys in my other lineup. So I don't know, dude. I don't like, dude. I get stressed out building it like this, dude. I need my spreadsheets.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Get on your spreadsheets. You don't have to do it here. I'll get you off screen. You don't have to do it here. Listen, I'm gonna share a link to Momentum Labs one more time. Any final questions, throw it in there. I saw someone just said Grant Williams is starting tonight, so there you go. There, get you Grant Williams in there. Here we go. I'm gonna drop the link to Momentum Labs.
Good.
All right, Borland's still here, just enjoying the stream. Good to have you here, Borland. I hope they change the Rumble to cap. Dude, I do love the cap. The limited contender and the rare contender is the most fun that I'm having. And then last call here. Like the stream, subscribe, #live. We do this show Monday and Friday at 5:30 Eastern before they lock. We have a couple other pieces of So Rare content that come out throughout the week. Our man Gnome is going to be joining us next week. He's got some really good insight. Lots of fun stuff. I should figure out what card I'm giving away. Let's see. It's probably going to be one of the, I bought 2 Peyton Pritchards. I'll fucking give away Peyton Pritchard. That's what
There you go.
Dude, this is better than Top Shot FUD. All right. Well, listen, I'm not trying to do Top Shot FUD. Also, Noam Chomsky shout out. All right, we got 68 entrants. We're going to give this away. John, anything else you need to plug except for coming to see us to talk some NFL Sunday morning?
That's right. That's it. That's all we got.
That's it. All right. I got to go build some DraftKings lineups too. So,
Same.
Borland was saying I would have had to buy the Trent. Just thought the Raps have some good matchups. I do like the Raptors' second matchup. The Pacers play a very fast-paced game. So if you're in on Gary Trent Jr., I think he's someone you'll be able to use in the future. I think that's fine. Just that Dort report makes me a little nervous, you know?
That's right.
All right, here you go. If you get this, if you ship this, shoot me a DM either at Mike's Carrion or in the Team Hold Discord. It's going to take me like a day or so to send this to you because it's fucking annoying. Wet like I'm Book. Shout out our man Wet like I'm Book. Just been grinding out there. John, listen, man, thanks for doing this because this is way better doing it with somebody else than doing this by myself.
Yeah, that was fun. At least we didn't have much. We didn't have any crazy injury news this week, I don't think.
No, and I mean, I guess like the one real thing outside of anything crazy happening is just the AD news. Oh, well, actually, just now, Bones Highland listed as questionable. So that pumps your Jamal Murray bags a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Also, William Stone saying Cornette or Powell. With Wood back, man, I'm going Luke Cornett. I'm hoping Al sits the second day. That's what I'm doing.
There we go.
High risk, high reward, baby. Shoot for the moon. All right, we're out of here. Thanks for being here, guys. We out.
Deuces.